Okay, so I right click on airline skirt model and save as with components. And we're going to select our folder, open, and instead of 2501, we would change to 2508, right? So 2501 with 2508, okay? And apply, okay. Right. Now I have 2508. So that's the airline skirt. So we're going to grade this airline skirt and for today, right? So right click, open with pattern design, separate work area. So open the airline skirt, okay? And before we start again, edit, customize preferences, make sure don't check click and go display filled with pieces, and make sure path connected to FD321, okay? Right. And user environment in inches, so it's good. And screen layout, I would check dots. All right. So once you have finished setting the work area, place all these pattern pieces in your work area, right? So I have front skirt, back skirt, okay? So what we're going to do is first, we're going to grade airline front skirt, and then you practice on the back skirt. So put the waistband and the back skirt aside. So we focus on the front skirt, okay? And also turn off seam allowance so that you don't see the seam allowance, okay? Like that, okay? So let's talk about the grading. Okay, so if you look at your handouts, okay, this is the handouts, right? Okay. So grading, what is grading? How much do you know about grading? What is grading? So yes, very important, size, okay? So you need to know the sizing chart first before you grade, right? Is it a numeric grading like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, okay? Or alphanumeric, okay? Alphanumeric meaning 2XL, you know, or 4X, the number and the alphabet combination, okay? And alpha sizing is small, medium, large, so letters. So these are the common sizing, right? So we need to know the first size chart first. So in this practice, we're going to numeric sizing. So size 2, size 4, size 6, okay? So that's we're going to use, okay? So you set up size range, smallest, let's say 0, largest size 14. So you have to set up the size range, and then we're ready to grade, okay? Now grading is very technical, right? I don't do grading. I don't enjoy really grading. It's very you know, it's not really my, you know, type of job I wanted to do, but it needs to be done. Now, the grading is how it's developed is it's a compromise solution, okay? Instead of you develop the pattern for each size, right? You will, you know, grade so that you will, let's say your base size 6 or 4, then you grade it into smaller and bigger sizes, okay? So that's more efficient, okay? But it's not the perfect solution. It is a compromise solution because further you go away from original size, okay? You will have some distortions, okay? Because our bodies, you know, now grow like gradient, okay? So that's why it is still the issue, okay? There's still not a perfect solution for gradient, okay? So you need to know that. All right. So if you look at the first chart here, how does grading work is basically you do slash and spreads like this, right? For example, our grading, size 4 to size 6, 1 inch growth, okay? If the hip is 36, next size is 37, okay? And 38. So it's 1 inch growth. Okay, so you need to know how the one size to next size, bigger or smaller, how much the difference is. Okay, and then you do distribution. You see the vertical lines and horizontal lines. Okay, so vertical line, if it grows 1 inch smaller or bigger, so quadrant is the skirt, right? This skirt is from right side. It's a quadrant, right? One fourth of the entire skirt. So for that, the skirt needs to grow 1/4 inch in total, right? Quarter, 4 times quarter is 1 inch. Okay, so you have to understand distribution. So how you distribute is not only, you can add to the side if it's like 1/8, a quarter, that may be okay, but you can't just continue doing that, right? Do you know what I'm talking about? You can't just add to the size seam to increase or make a smaller sizes. Okay? Otherwise, dot placement stay the same, right? So you have to, the pattern has to be, becomes bigger or smaller, keeping the proportion. Okay? So that's what grading needs to be done. Okay, so first you need to understand the growth, how much you need to add, width and length. Okay, right. So let's do grading. Next, have to have a rule table, right? Okay, it is because it's about size. Every the pattern has to have a size, some kind of size. Okay, so right now the airline skirt we created doesn't have any size. Look at here. If it says 1 in the middle bottom, you see the 1, number 1. And if you try to click down arrow, it doesn't say doesn't do anything because this has no rule table. Okay, so we're going to add rule table to this airline skirt, right? So can you press F3? Okay, and then go to from the menu at the top, grade. Okay, grade, and on the ribbon all the way to the left, assign rule table. Okay, move your cursor in your work area, right click, select all, and right click OK. Then you should see rule table. Come on. Why it doesn't show rule table? Okay, just a moment. It's in Z drive. Well, it should show the rule table. Let me see if we have anything. FD321. Unselect rule table. Apply. Okay. It's a little slow here. Maybe it's computer, right? It's a little slow. Come on. Circle it. Huh? Circle? Oh, okay. All right, cancel. Error. All right. Everybody has an issue? It's kind of frozen. Okay. So now we're working on here, assign the rule table, right? So let's go to here, grade. Okay. From the menu at the top, select grade. And on the ribbon, all the way to the left, assign rule table. And move your cursor inside your work area, right click, select all, right click OK. Now you see the rule table, right? Select FD321 skirt and click OK. And you just confirm OK, right click OK, okay, and save. File, save. right click, select all, right click OK. Yes, I think it's recovered.
Covered?
Yes, thank you very much. All right.
You have an error.
Yeah, confirm OK.
Okay.
OK, and then no. Click no. You want to say. All right, so leave your patterns here. Let's go to AccuMark Explorer. Okay, so in the folder, our folder, okay, you can do like this. Okay, so okay, in the search box here, you enter FD321 star. Okay, FD321 star, and then refresh with the F5 key. And then if you scroll down, why so many FD321? Okay, well, that's not a really good idea. FD321, right? Star. It doesn't refresh. Come on. Does it refresh?
I think so.
Mine doesn't do it. Oh, now it does. FD321. No. Huh? What's that? Still? Oh.
This is
Yes. All right. Let's do this. You see here, search box, next to search box, there's a long list of words. Do you see that in the box? And all the way to the right, there's a square with dot, dot, dot. Okay. Select that. Okay. And then right now, all data is selected. So click unselect all. Okay. Unselect all. And you only select rule table. Only select rule table and then apply. Okay. Then you should only see rule tables, 4 of them. Do you see that? Okay. So let's look at rule table, first one, FD321. How the rule table looks like. Okay. So double click on that. Oh, come on. Double click. And then it opens. Yes, right now open. You just confirm OK. Yes. Okay. So this is how rule table looks like. Okay. So you have rule table. If you look at the left bottom, you have 2 tabs, right? Rule table and rules. Okay. Rule table tab shows size range. So size range, this one is smallest size is size 2, largest is 18. So this is where you can set up smallest size, largest size in here. Okay. And then size range, size. So this one is size, size, odd number, not odd number, even number, right? So there's no size 5, there's no size 7. So you have 2, 4, 6, 10, 12, 14, 16. Okay. So this is where you decide numeric sizing. Base size is 8. Okay. Smallest is 2, largest is 16. Okay. Now let's click the rule tab. If you click rule tab, okay, this is where I was talking about. Okay. Rule number 1, XY movement is 0. Okay. Rule number 2, X movement, negative 3/8. Y movement is 0. Rule number 3, X movement, negative 3/8. Y movement is plus quarter inch. Okay. So this is where I know it's a long list. So rule number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you enter the movement, XY movement. So you have to do this manually. Okay. So creating a rule table takes time, but you only have to do it once. Okay. So typical companies usually have rule table for like a skirt, rule table for pants, rule table for jackets. So different rule tables. Or some person who grade has only one rule table to do all grading. So grading is very, how can I say it, specialized trade. Okay. It is because you really have to need experience to grade. Okay? I mean, simple bodies, that's not a problem. But if you have very complex, asymmetrical style and all kinds, different style, then you really need experience to grade. Okay, so that's why usually you send out for grading company because it's very specialized trade. Okay, you don't really have in-house grading person as well. Usually if it's a very big company, maybe they have. Usually you send out for grading. Okay, so when you send out, you have to send the size chart together. Okay, that's what because they need to create this rule table. Okay, all right. So now you know this is the grade rule table. How that each number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is already input XY movement. Okay, so we're going to apply these numbers to skirt and see if we can grade. Okay, so number 1 for front waist, number 2 for front hem, number 3 for side hem, and number 4 with side hip. Okay, so we're going to add that. All right, so let's go back to Acuma PDS here. Okay, and then let's focus on the front skirt. Okay, all right, so now we're going to add, okay, here number 1, okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so how you assign the rule is like this. Okay, so let me zoom in here. Okay, so you need to input to here. Basically, you just have to edit the point. Okay, and then enter grade number, rule number 1. Okay, to do this, right click, edit point info, or you can go to edit point. Okay, same thing, edit point or right click, edit point info. Okay, so this little small window appears, so you leave it on the side. Okay, now when you select the point, I don't want you to just click. Okay, because if you click, okay, but although it says apply to both ends, it is safer to use marquee to select this point instead of click. Okay, because this corner is end point of this line and end point of this line. So two points on top of each other. Okay, so when you select like this. Okay, and then see rule number is the 1 with lozenge, right? 1 with pound sign. Do you see that? It's already there. So then, oh, why is it there? So before we do this, cancel this now. Okay, we want to look at this. Press F4. Okay, and we want to look at if there is any grade rule already assigned. Okay, because you wanted to check before we do. Okay, so go to grade. Okay, view. Select the view and then point. You see grade rule. Okay, point grade rule. Select that, and then you see the yellow numbers, right? So it carried out some residue from previous whatever the patterns we developed. So we want to clear this first. Okay, so let's move, press F3. So you have all the pattern pieces in your work area, right? So we will first clear all these rule numbers. Okay, so again, right click, point info. Okay, leave it on the side. Now you use marquee to select entire all pattern pieces like this. Okay, use marquee to select all 3 pattern pieces.
Edit point info.
Edit point info. Okay, and now all points are selected, right? Okay, now in the D1 box, grade rule D1 box here in the track information, here enter -1. Okay, -1 is to clear all the grade rules. Then apply. See, it's all gone, right? Okay, so now it's all gone. Okay, let's focus on the front skirt again. Okay. Okay, so let's save this first. That will be safer. Go to File, Save, and select all. and save first. Okay. Now, let's move back to front skirt and then again right click to edit point info. Okay. So keep your small window there. And again, you select the front waist point with marquee like this. Okay. And D1, you enter number 1. Because this is rule number 1. Apply. You see now, you see the 1. And then front hem, you select the front hem. Enter number 2. Apply. And then side hem. So we're going clockwise here. Okay. Side hem, you enter number 3. Apply. Don't close this window. Just keep adding. Okay. Now side hip, where the hip line is, you select this together with the end point of the hip line. You select like this. And you enter number 4. Apply. And side waist point, you enter number 5. Okay. Now, see, I'm following this one here. You see, 1 for front waist, 2 front hem, 3 for side hem, 4 for side hip, 5 for side waist, 6 is the dot. Okay, so when you select the dot, zoom in a little bit. Make sure you select entire dot component like this. Okay, dot opening to dot point. Okay, carefully select only dots like this. Then you enter number 6. Apply. Okay. All right. Now let's see. You assigned all gray rule to skirt, right? So you can check whether this is graded or not by going to grade. Go to the tab at the top. Grade all sizes. You see that grade all sizes, and then click the piece. Right click OK. Okay, maybe did you edit, customize, connect to FD321? Because if it connected to other storage area where the guru table doesn't exist, sometimes that is a warning sign.
I'm in the Z.
Okay, so apply save. All right, so what is going on here? You need okay, that's not number 2. Yeah, this is 2 in half.
Oh, okay, so it's just
Number 2. That's number 2. Okay. Good. Now, yes. Huh? Grade 1? Oh, grade all sizes. Grade all sizes. So grade all sizes, right? All right. Now, if you want to see this in a rainbow color, okay, you can go to modify, edit, customize, preferences. Okay. Remember the color. You see the color tab. Okay. Click the color tab, and in the middle, nest color. You see nest colors. Okay. You select use rainbow. Apply. Save. Okay. So that will be a little bit easier to see, right? Okay. So if your skirt looks like that, then you're successful. Congratulations. When you edit point, okay, and you have D1, 2, 3, 4, right? So this one is basically you can using the same pattern, you can create different gradings. For example, you can use grading number 1, D1 for numeric grading, and then D number 2 for size grading, for example. the small size, medium size, L size. So you can do a different way. So so without creating a separate set, you can actually create a different grading. But that's really,
Oh,
yeah, my eyes. So you don't really need to that far. Okay. Okay, so let's do the waistband. So if I go back to rule table here, okay, so waistband center front is number 7, waistband left end is number 8, and the waistband right end is number 9. Okay, so that means here in the middle is what? 7, and 8 is left. 8 is left. So here is number 8, number 9. So here, again, right click to edit point. So use the mark key to select center front like this. And then what was that? Number 7, right? 7, apply. And then the left here, you enter number 8, apply. And the other end is number 9, apply. Okay. And then let's see if it's working. Go to grade, all sizes, click, and OK. Oh, that's not working. So what happened? Let's see. It goes like this, right? So let's look at what's wrong with that. Okay, so how does it supposed to move? Okay, so that means X movement should be 0, right? Correct? X movement should be 0. It looks like number 8 is moving X in negative positive. So we need to look at that. And then it's not moving on, what do you call that? Y movement. Okay, there's no Y movement. Y movement is supposed to be growing, right? Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. Okay, so I will hit Control H. Okay, so I'm going to first put this. Okay, I'm going to clear the grade assigned number -1, apply. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I will rotate this, modify, rotate, and I'm going to move clockwise. Is it clockwise? Yes, clockwise, 90 degrees. Click OK. Now, then we're going to change the grain line. Realign grain. So I will fix the grain line. Come on, grain line. Okay. So change the grain line and then make it this direction. Okay. Now we're going to add again rule table, edit point. This was number 7, right? 7. And this was number 8. Okay. And this was number 9. All right. So now let's see if it's working. Grade, all sizes, click. Now it's working. Do you see that? Okay. Okay. So if you want to make a cross grain, then you need to change 7, 8, 9 movement. Okay. So this was rule table was set up for cutting the waistband to the straight grain. Okay. Is your waistband look like this? Okay, then it's successful. Yes. Huh? Redo. Control H. Did you rotate? Huh? Well, then you need to go to modify, rotate. Modify piece action, rotate. And make sure you select clockwise, CW 90. CW 90. And then realign to change grain line. The grain line has to be changed. Okay. Okay, now you will assign the rule. Okay, 7 and 8 and 9. Okay. All right. So the back. Okay, the problem with the back is, you see, if you leave it pattern like this, the back, right? You can't use 1, 2, 3, 4 rules, right? Because movement is not same. Huh? No. I only changed the grain line. See, in the center is 7, left is 8, right end is 9. Waistband. What's wrong? All right. Okay. So same thing. So you will flip the back skirt. Okay. Flip the back skirt using flip, and then X according to X axis. So you flip that, and then realign grain. Okay. So fix that. So now back and front the same orientation. Once you're done, again you right click to edit point, and you assign the same rule table. Okay. This was number 1, right? This will be number 2. Apply. This is number 3. Apply. Side hip is number 4. Apply. Side waist is number 5. 5. Apply. And darts, entire darts, opening and a dart point. You enter what? Number 6. Apply. Okay. Right. Now if you see grade, okay, all sizes, click, and then you see the grade. Okay. Control H to clear. Okay. So you graded first skirt successfully. So save this. Okay. File, save. Right click, select all. Right. Okay. So if you don't want to see the rule number, Control J, you can clear. Okay. Questions. The pattern is graded. Okay. So I will again turn off seam allowance. Okay. So to check the grading. Okay. So let me show you this one. Sometimes you want to see whether grading is correct or not. Okay, so can you watch my demo here? Okay, so in the grade here, view, okay, you have other options. Okay, so you see you can select restack. Restacking is you can change that location. Okay, so then so you can check it's called a nest. Nest is these multiple lines. We call it nest. Looks like a bird nest. I don't know if it's that was the reason. So these multiple lines, we call it nest. Okay, so you can restack the nest to see. Okay, I guess the grading looks good. So you can select the key point to change the grade, how the grading is applied. Okay, or you can do like, for example, dot point, and then see. Oh, I see now. It looks, evenly proportionally graded. So that's the restacking. Okay. And also other thing is that, which I do, is instead of looking at all sizes, it's always easy to track find any mistake by seeing the selected sizes. Okay. So when I do select sizes, I will first select, and I will select only smallest, and then control key to largest, and okay. So that I can see the smallest and largest, see, okay, that this looks grading is correct, because that's where you often see distortion. Bigger size often get the distortion. Okay. Now this is the skirt, for example, like an armhole is very difficult to grade, for example. Okay. The sleeve cap also have trouble. Okay. So you look at small size of the armhole and the biggest size of the armhole, then you can see, oh, the smaller you get, armhole gets really deep curve, and then the largest size is almost like a little shadow curve of the armhole. Those are things sometimes you see see the mistakes, then tell the grader, okay, it's not working. Then they have to fix the grading. Okay, so this is the way to check the grading. Select the sizes. Okay, and then let me clear this. Also, you know what? Since you graded skirt, right? Oh, someone asked you, this is base size 8. Okay, this skirt is size 8. All right. Can you create a pattern for size 12? You know, size 12. This is a graded pattern. So how do you create set of size 12 patterns like this? So you go to create. Okay, piece graded size. Okay, then you select all of them, and then it lets you select the size you want. Okay, I want size 14, for example. Then I say okay, 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 okay. So now I have big sizes already, size 14. So when you hover the cursor over the pattern, you see the size at the bottom. Okay, so I have size 14 created. See how easy that is to create a separate set? Now, then you can plot the pattern, or you can save this as size 14. Okay, and so once it's graded, so easy to create different sizes.
I was briefly looking at something. Sorry.
No, graded size. So here, create piece graded sizes. Okay. So, okay, so here this is the greatest grade. This skirt is already graded. So create piece graded size, and you select all pieces. Right click OK. Then I will select smallest and then maybe largest. OK, OK, OK. Then you will create all different sizes. So these are the, I guess I created different sizes here. This one is size 8, and this is size 16. Okay, this size 2. Okay, so I made a size 2 here, and so this size 8, size 16, and size 2. So I created 2 sizes. Okay.
I have to save everything.
No, you don't need to. Okay, this is just a practice to see. Okay. All right.